Hello friends, hope you all are doing well, staying safe and healthy. Today we will do an analysis of new TDS section 194Q under Income Tax Act 1961. This section is introduced in Finance Act 2021 and deals with TDS on purchase of goods. This section will be effective from 1st July 2021. In this video, we will also do a comparison of section 194Q with similar section 206C1H, which deals with TCS. That is tax collected at source on sale of goods. The only major difference between these two sections is that the responsibility of deduction of tax under section 194Q shall lie upon the buyer, whereas the responsibility of collecting tax under section 206C1H shall lie upon the seller. Friends, my name is CA Tarandeep Singh Bhatia and welcome to my channel Wealth Singh. So without wasting any further time, let's get started. So friends, let's first discuss why section 194Q is being introduced in Finance Act 2021. For this, I would like to discuss section 206C1H, that is TCS on sale of goods, introduced in last year budget 2020. This section got effective on 1st October 2020. Under this section, seller needs to collect TCS from a buyer in case sale exceed Rs 50 lakhs in a financial year to such buyer. Here buyer is span-wise buyer, right? However, there was a problem. This section is applicable on seller whose turnover is more than Rs 10 crores during the financial year immediately preceding the financial year in which sale was carried out. But in case of transactions where receipts from buyer for sale of goods is more than Rs 50 lakhs, however, turnover of seller is less than Rs 10 crores, then TCS provisions are not applicable on seller. So to overcome this problem of no collection of tax on transactions exceeding Rs 50 lakhs value, government introduced similar type of provision for purchaser or buyer via TDS applicability under section 194Q on purchase of goods. Hope it clears the reason why section 194Q is being introduced. So friends, now next question that comes to mind is when and on whom section 194Q is applicable. So here what the law says. When the goods are purchased for a value or aggregate of value exceeding Rs 50 lakhs in any financial year from a resident seller, here seller means respective pan-wise seller. In that case, this section becomes applicable. Here buyer means whose turnover or gross receipts are greater than Rs 10 crores in financial year preceding to financial year in which purchase of goods took place. Here I want to mention one important point regarding inclusion of GST in aggregate purchase value. In respect of section 206C1H, the tax authority's White Circular number 17 dated 29 September 2020 has clarified that since the collection of tax, that is TCS, is made with reference to receipt of the amount of sale consideration, no adjustment on account of indirect taxes including GST is required to be made for the collection of tax under this provision. This provision means section 206C1H, that is TCS on sale of goods. Since the deduction under section 194Q is to be made with reference to the purchase value, applying the same principle, it can be concluded that GST shall form part of the purchase value. Therefore, the TDS is deductible on the purchase value inclusive of GST. However, I must say a clarification in this regard from the tax authorities would be much appreciated. As this section deals with TDS, so liability is on the buyer. to deduct and deposit tax with income tax authorities. A buyer can be any person, example individual, companies, etc. If there are any exception, then that will be notified by central government separately. However, on whom section 194Q is applicable, there is a condition that turnover or sales or gross receipts of a buyer in last financial year, that is preceding financial year, should exceed rupees 10 crores. Plus, purchase of goods should be from resident seller only. Now, what is resident seller? This is altogether a separate topic, as there is a criteria in income tax to determine the residency status of any person. So just for understanding, normally all Indian citizens permanently residing in India and all Indian companies are covered under resident criteria. In case of import of goods, seller is non-resident. So in such case, section 194Q is not applicable. I hope it clears. Also here I want to mention that in financial year 2021-22, that is current financial year, the value of goods purchased during 1st April 2021 to 30th June 2021 shall be taken into consideration for calculating 50 lakhs purchase limit. However, tax is deductible only on purchase effected on or after 1st July 2021. It means TDS shall not be deducted for the payment made or amount credited to the account of seller before 1st July 2021. When TDS need to be deducted? TDS shall be deducted on date of credit to the account of seller or date of payment, whichever is earlier. So in case there is an advance payment for purchase of goods, then TDS need to be deducted. Even if such amount is credited to any account, rather it be a suspense account or any other account by whatever name, such credit shall be deemed to be credited to account of seller and TDS shall apply accordingly. So, what is the rate of TDS under section 194Q? For this, there are two rates defined. If PAN of the seller is available with purchaser, then TDS rate is 0.1% of the value exceeding rupees 50 lakhs. That is, TDS shall be deducted on incremental amount only. That is, the amount above 50 lakhs, not the whole amount. However, if the PAN of the seller is not available with purchaser, then in such a case, TDS rate will increase sharply. TDS rate shall be 5% instead of 0.1%. So now moving on to next question. What kind of goods and services are covered under section 194Q? As per the interpretation of law, all kinds of goods, whether of capital nature or revenue nature, both are covered. This section does not make any distinction between the two. Services are not mentioned, so not yet covered. So what will be the consequences of non-compliance of section 194Q? As per section 40A(IA) of Income Tax Act 1961, if the buyer fails to deduct TDS, then 30% of the expenditure shall be disallowed for calculation of tax. Say if there is a case where seller is liable to collect TCS under section 206C(1)(h) and the buyer is also required to deduct TDS under section 194Q on the same goods on the same transaction. In such a situation, question arises that rather seller will collect TCS or buyer will deduct TDS. In such a case, law says section 194Q is applicable. The buyer need to deduct and deposit TDS amount with income tax authorities. Here seller shall not charge TCS on the same transaction. However, the matter is actually not that simple. The practical hardship may be seen that the seller who is liable to collect TCS under section 206C(1)(h) will now have to confirm whether the buyer is liable to deduct TDS under section 194Q or not. And if he is so liable, then rather the buyer actually deducted TDS or not, or has paid to the tax authorities or not. So now friends, let's discuss the situations where section 194Q is not applicable. Situation 1, where TDS need to be deducted under any other section of the Income Tax Act, then section 194Q shall not be applied and that other section shall prevail. Example, suppose in case of work contract, TDS is required to be deducted under section 194C and side by side conditions of section 194Q also fulfills, then TDS shall be deducted under section 194C and not under section 194Q. Situation 2, where TCS charged by the seller under section 206C other than section 206C1H, then section 194Q is not applicable. Example, suppose we purchase a motor vehicle for rupees 70 lakhs and TCS charged by the dealer under section 206C1F, then no TDS shall be deducted under section 194Q. Now let's do some illustrations to understand the applicability of section 194Q and section 206C1H. Let's take the first illustration. Here the turnover of both seller and buyer for last financial year is more than 10 crores. However, the transaction value for the current year is less than 50 lakhs. So here both section 194Q and section 206C1H shall not apply. Let's take the second situation. Here the turnover of both seller and buyer is less than 10 crores. However, the transaction value of goods during the current year is more than 50 lakhs, that is 55 lakhs. In this case also both sections shall not apply because the turnover of both buyer and seller is less than 10 crores. Let's see the third illustration. Here the turnover of seller during the last financial year is more than 10 crores and of buyer is less than 10 crores. And the transaction value during the current financial year is more than 50 lakhs. In this case, section 206C1H shall apply and the TCS at the rate 0.1% shall be collected by the seller from the buyer as the buyer PAN is available. In case the buyer PAN is not available, then the TCS rate shall be 5% as shown in illustration 4, which is similar to illustration 3. Now let's see illustration 5 and 6. Here the turnover of buyer during the last financial year is more than 10 crores and the turnover of seller is less than 10 crores. The transaction value of goods during the current financial year is more than 50 lakhs. So in this case, section 194Q is applicable. In case seller PAN is available, then TDS at the rate 0.1% shall be levied. And if seller PAN is not available, then TDS at the rate 5% shall be levied. Now let's see the last two illustrations 7 and 8. Here the turnover of both buyer and seller during the last financial year is more than 10 crores and the transaction value of goods during the current financial year is more than 50 lakhs. So here both section 194Q and section 206C1H get triggered. However, in this case, as per the law, section 194Q is applicable. So TDS rate shall be applied accordingly. Hope you all have now understood the applicability of section 194Q and its relation with section 206C1H. If you have any query or feedback, please write in comments. If you find this video informative, please like, share and subscribe. Thanks for watching my video. Stay safe, stay healthy.